What's going on, guys? Kenny here from 619 Guitars and Gear, and today we are going to check out this absolutely gorgeous Schecter C-1 Elite, and I'll tell you how I got my hands on this thing, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, well, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a few weeks, and I gotta say, I missed every single one of you. But today I thought it was worth getting the camera out, because as you can see, we have this absolutely gorgeous Schecter C-1 Elite. And basically, long story short, a couple weeks ago, I was in a local mom-and-pop music store, like I always am. Had a few bucks in my pocket, was just browsing around to see what's out there. And I stumbled upon this Ibanez ART, I believe it was a 320 or something like that. The one that has the active Ibanez pickups in it that takes 2 AA batteries. Super weird, but it was a gorgeous guitar. It was in great condition. I got it for a great price. Ended up bringing it home. I was going to make a video about it, but honestly, I've been flooding the channel with Ibanez videos lately, so I figured I'd wait a little while. And then out of nowhere, a buddy of mine had contacted me. He said, hey, I got this really nice Schecter C-1 Elite that I picked up, and I'm not really digging it. He says, maybe you want to buy it or do a trade or something. I said, well, I just picked up this Ibanez ART. Maybe we can do that. Sent him a video, and he fell in love with that guitar, and I fell in love with this thing. So we met up. He was happy. I was super happy, and here we are. So basically, this is a 2004 model. Usually I do reviews on new-ish guitars, but I figured it was worth doing a video about this thing because it's absolutely awesome. You have this really gorgeous quilted maple top with the trans amber color. You have the abalone and cream binding going around the whole guitar and headstock and everything, and it just looks really, really good. So you have a 3-piece mahogany body. You have a set 3-piece maple neck that is nice and slim feeling. It was kind of hard finding specs on this guitar just because no one, any websites that sell guitars that list every single spec. Obviously, it's older, so no one's going to have anything like that listed. But I was able to find some stuff that people had just typed in that were apparently from the Schecter website. So you have a 25.5-inch scale, you have a rosewood fretboard, you have jumbo nickel frets. They say it's a 12-inch radius, even though it kind of looks a little bit flatter than that. If I would say it looks more like a 16, but from what they're saying, I'd have to put a radius gauge on it, honestly. I just have not had the strings off yet. You have a dual-action truss rod. You have what looks to be a graphite nut. I believe it is a 24 fret. No fret markers at all on the front, except here at the 12th fret. You have this little abalone diamond, which is awesome. Regular black side dots. And then for the hardware, you have the Tone Pros locking bridge. And then you have some nice gold Grover tuners. The gold is actually in decent shape. It's a little faded and pitted in some spots, but it's for 2004, it's not that bad. You have these really nice gold knobs with the abalone in them. I actually just bought a set of those for my purple Ibanez. And yeah, you have 1 volume, 1 tone with a push-pull for coil splitting, 3-way switch, and obviously gold-plated output jack. And yeah, for the pickups, you have the Duncan designs. I believe the neck and bridge are HB102s, which I always liked. That set came in my old LTD H250, and I love them, honestly. So not too bad at all. So basically, decent specs for an 04. This actually came out the same year that my LTD H250 did. And it's just a gorgeous looking guitar. And it's just one of those things, when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I have to have it. So we got it. So what we can do is go ahead and plug it in, maybe do some high gain, do some clean, just see what this thing's all about and see what it sounds like. Alright, so we'll start with high gain first, starting on the bridge pickup. I have this guitar tuned to drop D, which is what it was in when I got it. And we're using the Quad Cortex, using a capture of a Fortin head. Not exactly sure what Fortin model it is, but there's also a TS9 in the capture. I think it sounds really good. All right, now we'll do a little bit of clean. I made a preset on the quad cortex with some shimmer reverb and a little bit of delay. And once again, starting on the bridge pickup. right, well, as we bring this video to a close, I have to say, I own mostly a lot of newer guitars, pretty much from within the last 4 to 5 years. But I also have a couple guitars that are from, early to mid 2000s. And for some reason, I always gravitate towards playing those and feel really comfortable, especially like the LTDs and Schecters. My first real good guitar was an LTD H250, which at the time for me was, amazing. It was like the holy grail. But I have so many hours of playing time on that guitar. And, for some reason, this thing kind of just reminds me of that guitar. It feels really similar neck feel, just similar overall sound. I mean, obviously, it had the same Duncan Designs HB102s in it. So it really feels at home for me playing this thing. So, yeah, I'm always buying, selling, and trading guitars, and I honestly think this one's going to stick around, and I'm going to put it right in the collection and keep it around. I mean, like I said, it's in great condition. A couple little weird things going on. There's some fisheye going on, as I had mentioned earlier, in the clear coat, but I think some of that can be wet sanded out and buffed out. So what I'll probably do is put this thing on the bench, take the strings off, gut everything out of it, buff out all the paint and body just to get it as mint as I can. The gold hardware is in pretty good shape. It's still very gold, but there is some pitting going on. And, you can clean it, but you got to be super careful with the gold hardware, as I'd mentioned in other videos. If you use anything too harsh and abrasive on it, you're going to, eventually take that gold plating right off. So, just using a dry cloth or maybe a little dab of warm water or something like that you can use, but nothing too harsh. So we'll try to clean that up the best that we can. But man, I really, really love this thing. I'm super glad I really like that Ibanez ART, but I'm super glad I made this trade because I think I definitely love this thing a lot more. And it just, like I said, feels really at home for me just because it's, it's a 2004, that's a 2004. I know this is a Schecter, that's an LTD, but they're very similar guitars. I think even, obviously LTD makes a model that has the abalone all around it. I used to have one. It was the H something or other. I'm not exactly sure what model it was, but they're very similar. So, yeah, I love this thing. I'm going to keep it around, clean it up, and have a lot of fun with it. Maybe put some different gauge strings on it, drop the tuning down a little bit. But I'm not going to change the pickups. I'm going to keep everything exactly how it is. But it's pretty much it for this video, guys. I want to thank you, as always, for watching. I know it's been a little bit since I've made a video. My work schedule's been crazy, so I'm just trying to do the best I can and jam life into very little bit of free time. But yeah, as always, stay safe, be a good person, go play guitar, go play some guitars from like the mid 2000s. You'll thank me, I'm telling you, especially like the LTDs and Schecter. I think they were really good around that time. I mean, they're always pretty good, but I don't know. For some reason, I just love like guitars from that time point. I think it's just because it's from when I started playing, but who knows? I could be talking crazy right now. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.